Hello viewers, welcome in another episode. Today I will present some models, 6 models to be precise, from a parcel, another random act of kindness I got recently from Pavulon and Przemas. Pavulon is father, Przemas is his son. They have a channel on Polish YouTube in Polish language. Sadly for you, I'm happy I speak Polish so I can watch and understand. They sent me six models in 1/24 scale, samochody PRL, which means samochody from the time when Poland was in Soviet Union influence zone, sold by Ashet. We will start with Barkas B1000. That's East German car. It's named after Hamilcar Barkas, Carthaginian military man who was quite successful when fighting against Rome. And this makes me laughing. That's not something you would expect on East German car, but it looks great. There is some photos, plenty of information, even some technical data, but because it's in Polish, maybe I will try to translate. Engine, 3-cylinder, 2-stroke, so you had to add oil to petrol. A very small engine, 992 cubic centimeters. Powerful, very powerful. 46 mechanical horses. Torque huge, 98 Newton meters. 100 kilometers per hour maximum speed, so it will be 60 miles per hour roughly. Manual 4-gear gearbox. Now this is something a little bit messed up. I think someone doesn't grasp technical information, because brakes are hydraulic in the front and drums in the rear. Drums are hydraulic probably as well. Maybe it was about disc, but I think in this car all drums were all brakes front and rear were drum, but I could be wrong. Wheels are 13s, very small ones. Fuel consumption 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Tank rather small, 42 liters. The car itself, weight, it's 1,425 kilograms, and it could carry 625 kilograms. So, few more pictures. As you can see, it was used for variety, really wide. You know, when it comes to models version and what it can be used for, you can see how complicated and modern dashboard was. Here we have some information about the various variants, like a mini truck, van, combi, a people carrier, and ambulance. But let's have a look at car itself. First I will look around in one-time magnification, because that's 1/24 scale. It's rather big, so it would be more difficult if I use macro. But now we will turn on macro to see more details. The model itself is rather well done. As you can see, wiper blades and sprinklers, nice logo and grille, acrylic headlamp and fog lamps. Then indicators are just painted, but they did it rather well. I like on all those cars registration plate it will be name of the model. We have mirrors on both sides, Barkas B1000. Very nice looking door handle, and it's not just, you know, part of casting. There is gap there. Nice wheel, storage. Inside it will be hard to see anything because everything is just black plastic, and I don't have extra light with me, so I won't be able to show as much as I want. But you can see dashboard, steering wheel, look at those cute tail lamps. It's like just very artificial, you know, that a little bit sticking fenders, and then from this side it looks even like on some kind of stalks. We have tail lamps, we have more lights, fuel cap. As you can see, there is exhaust. So this is our first model. We will see today, but definitely it won't be last. Now I think we will have a look at Russian equivalent. Those cars are almost from the same era, but was 452. Ignore information, it was produced till 2020. It's still in production, and it's even more shitty than it was then. It's called Buchanka, and sadly we can see plenty photos and videos with Buchanka from war in Ukraine. I think if Russia will spend as much effort and time on trying to develop their own country and make better cars, they will have less time to attack neighbors. Some versions, you know, there are so many versions, so many conversion, homemade things. This is jazda próbna, which means this car was in Poland and there is Polish registration plate. And X, if I remember correctly, means it's just for trial. I had pleasure, I wouldn't call it really pleasure, to be passenger in Buchanka. because it was in use in Polish army as well. It wasn't very popular, but it was in artillery. For example, it was used as a vehicle to, before you start shooting, you must know where you are exactly, etc. in relation to it's about topography, and there was some equipment inside you was driving, and it was calculating where you are, etc. This one is in Polish, from the Polish army as well. You can recognize it because of this, but it's in private hands now because of registration. WF, that's private. If it would be army, it would be UA or something like that. Oh, and by the way, we have information about number of those. So roughly in 1991 in Poland there was 1768, up to 1975 48, then 1975 90, 772, then 492, 256. It wasn't very popular, but there were some. Again, some technical data. Here it's just about size, length, etc. And here is car. We can see, even looking from the front, you can see some resemblance. They are very, no, maybe not very, but they are looking similar from the side as well, but because of same purpose and almost same age, because this is 1968, Barkas 1965, but they were produced in same and design in roughly same time, so it is what it is. Even Barkas is seriously underpowered, etc. I would say it looks better than was, but that's my opinion. You can disagree. It's much simpler than Barkas. That there is no doubt about that. Look at those wiper blades. Very unusual now. It wasn't that unusual then. And by the way, in some of those Russian cars, Soviet cars then, wiper blades can be fitted here. Gas logo, acrylic headlamps, very simple, steel stamped rims, and that's all-terrain tires, fuel cap, it was powered mostly by a 4-cylinder petrol engine. It wasn't very powerful, but it was very toasty. We have towing hook. Look how crude and simple are those hinges. About interior, we won't see a lot, but I will tell you that those are one of most uncomfortable seats I ever sit. Because the upper part is very short, so you have support like a little, just a little above middle of your back, and those are not too soft. They were covered with imitation fake leather, plasticky fade for leather, which were, by the way, very easy to damage, and it was terrible during summer because every contact with naked skin, it means it was like glued to the surface of the seat, and then when you move, it was painful. It's 4x4. You won't be able to see, but you will. There is like gear shift and then extra levers for blocking differential, you know, engaging 4x4, etc. So we will move a little bit back in the time. Gas 67B. It was designed during Second World War. It wasn't that great. Willys Jeep was much better, but you know, it was better than nothing. The floor was wooden. It was very heavy. It was underpowered. Technical data. So engine 4 cylinders, 4 stroke, 54 horsepower. It was, you know, torque not that bad, 176. It wasn't that bad for that age. Maximum speed 90 kilometers per hour. You can see it was much heavier than Willys Jeep because it was 1,320 kilograms. Average fuel consumption 15 liters per 100 kilometers. Brakes mechanical, and drums front and rear. It wasn't even hydraulic. Oh, by the way, here you can see photo of armored car made on same chassis. The model itself, you can see how simple it was and crude, but as I said, Willys was a much better car. Headlamps, if I remember correctly, this is cast iron, that's why it was so heavy, by the way. Very narrow tires, pressed steel rims. Oh, inside you can see what we couldn't see in UAZ. Gear shifter and mechanism to change modes. You know how that transmission was working, like 4x4, blocking differential, etc. 3-spoke steering wheel, and it was quite similar in the newer Soviet vehicles, 4x4s, by the way. Canvas roof, you can see you can fold Windscreen, very simple car, simple light in the back. You can see towing eye, spare wheel, exhaust short under passenger seat. That's where it ends. So time for something sporty. Trabant P50 500, 1957-1962. This is in very fancy livery, but it wasn't that usual. Usually it was something like this. Look how complicated and luxurious it was inside. Oh, maybe I will change to one-time magnification. Dimensions in millimeters. Engine compartment. By the way, there was no fuel gauge. It wasn't. There was no fuel gauge in most of the more modern Trabants as well. You have like Bayonne, but you could use even stick or something to check by dipping it into fuel tank how much fuel you have. The engine was 2-stroke, 2-cylinder. 20 horsepower, 23 in P60, 42.2 Newton meters and 52 Newton meters, mechanical 4-speed gearbox, front wheel drive, very light, 620 kilograms, 100 kilometers per hour. Yeah, they wish. Fuel consumption for such small engine, it was rather high, 6 to 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers. You know, only chassis, you know, bottom and some elements were made from steel, and the rest was that plastic. It was called Duroplast. So there was no risk of corrosion there, but chassis itself, it could corrode, and it corroded. Oh, this is very interesting version because it's a estate with camper trailer. It looks like caricature of it's really funny. This is P60 in a universal version. And there is Trabant P50, 1959. We can use 2-time magnification because it's so small. We will have no problems to see it. And I like this livery, it looks great. And even I know it's very bad. This was really terrible car. But it had one good thing. It was still better than walking, especially if it was raining or if it was cold. But let's have a look at this little beauty. Nice Trabant patch, lamps, you know, those cute grill, two grills, because we have one here and one here. This livery is very, very nice. One mirror on the driver's side, again hinges, wiper blades, very simple but nice wheels, door handle, very characteristic for that era steering wheel, two spoke, very simple interior. You can see radio there, but it wasn't a regular element, it was extra option. Very simple seats. There is speedo, few lights there, you know, but not too much. As I said, no fuel gauge, so you can understand now better how simple it was. Exhaust, headlamps. I like that was very popular for cars in that era. I like it. And we have fins. It's like those American cars from that era, but it's much powerful and it's bigger. I think you can put a couple of those inside one of those US made boats. And chrome trim. This is another interesting thing, because if you look at this car, at this Trabant, it looks, even it's very simple and crude, I would say, it's much better, you know, like quality, more details and more sophisticated, if I can use this word here, if you compare it to his successor. You know, the crisis was getting deeper and deeper, and the cars were just made as simple as possible. We have now time to have a look at two more luxurious cars. At least luxurious in you know, Eastern Bloc, meaning gas 2410 Volga, made from 1985 till 1994. My I wouldn't call it family member. It was partner of my good mother. She had one of those, and I know a few other people. Then I rode in a few times in a taxi made of Volga. You know, this car has few good things, and not necessarily it was good things in other countries. It was very, very soft, you know, the suspension was really soft. But looking at how roads in Poland or Soviet Union and some other countries in Eastern Bloc were looking, that was good thing. It was very thirsty, which wasn't a good thing, because there were issues with fuel, and in Poland it was rationed for long time, so definitely not good. We have some dimensions here and some differences between how manuals were describing this car and what was result in real situation. So for example, fuel tank, it was exactly same, 55 liters. But maximum speed according to manual it was 150 kilometers per hour, but during test 145, that was all they could achieve. Fuel consumption at speed of 80 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 50 miles per hour, 8.5 liters. But during test, even during like at speed lower, because 70 kilometers per hour it was already 8.7, at 90 it was 10.7, at 120 kilometers per hour 13.5 liters, and in urban cycle 15.3 liters. The front is not that outdated, but for 1985 it doesn't look modern. Gas badge, grille, yellow fog lamps. I wouldn't say they were very common, and just single round headlamps. From the side it looks older than 1985. That shape isn't too modern. But it's not that bad. As you can see, front seats with a headrest, which is good. That's a step forward. No headrest in the back. Not the steering wheel and dashboard were looking modern enough. It's hard to see anything in here, but it wasn't bad. For that time, it was just good. Very characteristic. Door handles, rear. Here it looks like, I would say it reminds me of older Volvos. It's just much wider than Volvos, but the shape of the tail lamps, we have tiny exhaust and chrome bumpers, huge trunk, really huge trunk. And if you loaded it, it changed characteristic of how car was behaving. But I think that's something we should expect with such huge trunk and weight distribution. So this is Russian luxury car. And it's time to show you Czechoslovakian luxury car. Tatra 613. Probably my favorite car of today's video. It was built for 22 years, and like with many products in Eastern Bloc, the newer it was, the worse it was same time, because crisis was going forward. There were issues with proper quality, with some equipment, so there were just shortcuts, replacing things with things which were available but not as good. Quality control was terrible. But here we have a few pictures, nice pictures of interior. As you can see, you know, it's not the most modern luxurious, but for 1970s, mid 1970s, it wasn't that bad. Look, even rear seat have headrest, engine in the back. It was V8, air-cooled V8, huge front trunk. The engine was around 170 bhp. Let's see if there will be information here. Exactly 168 bhp, so I wasn't that far away. It wasn't that slow, 190 kilometers per hour, so we can see it's much better than Volga. Fuel consumption higher than Volga, but it was V8, much bigger engine. And here we can picture of another trim. It wasn't that bad. Oh, and this is very interesting, you know, for any Eastern Bloc car. That's fantastic. Even steering wheel, BBS. You can see dashboard, all the switches, wooden trim, automatic gearbox. It's not the greatest one. Oh, of course, that's the more modern. You know, it's not like from 1975. It's from 1990s. But anyway, it looks great. Here you can see it wasn't that modern, but still that steering wheel to spoke for 1970s, that's okay. Dashboard, not too bad. Manual gearbox. Few other versions because they have various ones. Look TV with, I think it's you know, like a video cassette. And as you can see, that's another interesting thing. Passenger seat, you could turn it back, and there is, look, mobile, some kind of mobile phone. So let's have a closer look at this beautiful car, because for me this is beautiful car. Front for 1970s, it looks very good and modern. From the side, that silhouette is not bad at all. Very nice wheels with so-called chicken Skoda logo. Rear is not bad at all, I like it, and dual exhaust adds a little bit of aggressiveness, and I love those tail lamps, squares, separate units, looks nice with chrome trim. It was eye-catcher then, and for me it's still eye-catcher now. We can see what I'm saying about Skoda chicken. This is Tatra. I'm recording it after 3 AM, so my brain is just not fully present here. Luckily not present at all are those times, but still I would say those rims are really nice. I think interior is the best of all those 6 cars we've seen today. Not only about design, but about quality, etc. But we have big windows, so there is more light, and dashboard, clocks are white, so we can see more. No headrests here, but upper part is shaped as headrest. We've seen on photos there could be headrests, probably that's an option. Look at those door handles. And rear lights. And defrosting installation. And by the way, here you can see how out of scale are sometimes those on 1/64 scale. How tiny those are on 1/24 scale. So if we can see something much thicker on a smaller scale, we know that's out of scale. So those are all cards I wanted to present you today. I will put them beside, because of scale it will be difficult, but nonetheless I will try. Tatra will be in the front because she deserves it. So one-time magnification, and voila. What do you think about those cars? Which one of those would be your favorite? Which one you think are looking terrible? Again, I thanked in Polish version of this video to Pawlon and Przemas, but here I would say thank you again. This is really fantastic gift, and I can share this gift now on YouTube with viewers. And I think those models, those cars are rather unknown for most of my viewers, and maybe those times were not as nice as many people thinks, but sentimental, nostalgic reasons, I like those cars. Even I know how bad they could be, but then I was young and everything was much better. Because I was young. I'm not that old, but older viewers know how it works. So, as usual, all the best for all of you, and see you soon. Bye bye.